You are now tuned into the sounds of Big Nate Sports Talk. It's on all the time, anytime.
Love interrupted by tragedy, lost in the drought of nightfall, running in search of the remedy, trying to find her place in it all, focused only on the negative. Is what will manifest. Thought she could escape, but it's all the same. Birds fly south for the winter, but she ran to the west side.
You are now tuned in to Big Nate Sports Talk, the show that's on all the time, anytime. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for all content. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your host, Nathan Snell. Bring your sports game with Big Nate Sports Talk.
This is what's great about sports. This is what the greatest thing about sports is. You play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it. That's the great thing about sports. You play to win. And I don't care if you don't have any wins. You go play to win. When you start telling me it doesn't matter, then retire. Get out. Because it matters.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your host, Nathan Snell, Big Nate Sports Talk Podcast, Episode 8, Season 12 of the podcast. In this episode, we can watch the Commanders defeating the Atlanta Falcons. But before we get into that, there's a few things I want to say up front. I got 2 more episodes coming at you. Maryland football, and then the Lady Terrapins. We face Notre Dame tomorrow. That should be a good game. Big matchup. The Washington Commanders made my weekend okay. Even though the Lady Terrapins went 2-3 in Fort Myers tournament, they made the weekend actually okay. We faced an Atlanta Falcons team that, for the most part, I think can still make some noise in the NFC South. The one thing I will say is, coming into this game, the Commanders, 6 consecutive games of at least one takeaway, which is an interesting stat. Over the last 7 weeks, we have 13 takeaways. We're half a game behind the San Francisco Giants, the New York Giants, which is good. Now, a couple things, and these are my takeaways. Starts with the quarterback. This is a guy that I've been hard on. Some people may say, yeah, I've been harsh, but this is the guy that brings the moxie, he brings the magic, and he brings this shot in the arm stuff. If that's going to be going forward, we need Taylor Heineke to be more consistent. I thought he struggled in the first half. It left some points on the board. There were some throws that he really had opportunities to make, and he missed them. If you paid attention late in the game, Scott Turner did not trust Taylor Heineke to end the game with a pass. And going forward, that's something Taylor has to do. Now, I thought he played well in certain situations. I mean, there was the one he got away with a dangerous shovel pass that was almost a fumble before he fell John Bates for that touchdown. I mean, he completed 14 of 23, 138 yards and 2 touchdowns. He had none thrown one since the loss to the Vikings. But I need him to be just a little bit more consistent. Brian Robinson, what a day. 105 yards, touchdown. Again, that 1-2 punch, Antonio Gibson. I mean, he had 12 touches on the ground himself. But those two, it's a good rotation to have. However, I thought that, which was alarming, but I'm not sure if it was play design or something defensively that Atlanta was doing. Curtis Samuel carried the ball 4 times, and he was not targeted in the passing game. However, Jahan Dotson had just 1 target. They both finished the game with a donut by their names in terms of catches. Game over, yeah! I understand that they were playing in weather that was not favorable. But one thing of watching Curtis Samuel, even when he was at Carolina, even watching some highlights of Jahan Dotson, they can make short passes into big gains. And I have a question about that with Scott Turner. You got to get them involved more in the passing game, because if you notice, they are, without a shadow of a doubt, they're dangerous when the ball is spread around, in my opinion. Another thing that was glaring to me was the run defense. That the cheat code, and who I think in my book should be a Hall of Famer, Cordero Patterson and Mr. Tyler Algier, excuse me. They, for some reason, struggle to stop them. If you've paid attention since week 2 for Washington, opposing offenses, they don't run the ball consistently. And whether, I don't know, and again, this is an Atlanta team that is probably one, other than Baltimore, probably the best run offenses. Marcus Mariota. I mean, I had a feeling we were going to use zone. It caused problems for him. He carried for us. He carried the ball 6 times for 49 yards. Al Greer, he carried for 54 yards. Cordero Patterson had 52. I mean, I just think to allow 167 yards against this team, you can't allow that to happen against good teams, because that will come back to bite you in the ass. I felt as though Atlanta's offensive line dominated our front 4, whether it was double teaming Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne, and our linebacking core did not do much of a disservice. Wasn't much of a factor either. So that's something I'm gonna keep my eye on for, especially when we get ready to play Saquon Barkley and New York Giants. I mean, Mariota finished 15 to 25 for 174 yards, 1 touchdown and interception. I mean, overall, it was a good win for Washington, but some things that needs to be cleaned up. Now, on the Atlanta side, they played well in some areas, but there were some lapses that definitely hurt them. I thought that there was the pass play on a zone read. It was a second down from the 4-yard line. At the last minute, was the game-winning interception by Kendall Fuller. Because that drive It was 9 plays for 77 yards, and it was about 5 minutes on the clock. And it was a great job to take that much time off the clock, because we would have had less than a minute to respond had Atlanta taken the lead. Painfully, Atlanta with this loss goes back to 500, but I still think they will make the playoffs. As I said, their running game is just solid. They have the third most yards in the league. They're averaging about almost 160 yards on the ground, and they're answering the test. I'm telling you, those three, Marcus Mariota, Tyler, Cordell Patterson, they're doing their thing. And not having a Kyle Pitts out there, get well soon, speedy recovery, thoughts and prayers, did a lot of things. But it's keeping up that offense is something to pay attention to. I also too like their defense. I like Mykal Walker. He is a good player. There was a pass that he intercepted that I thought would have given Atlanta the a chance to take the lead. I'm looking at him, AJ Terrell, Richie Grant, Jalen Hawkins, some other guys on there. I think I saw D. Afford, Isaiah Oliver. They've got some guys on defense that could play, and they don't sleep on that defense. That I'm just going to say, don't sleep on them. And also, too, I thought what kind of hurt Atlanta was the tackling. You got to be able to tackle guys. They have not been the greatest tackling team, according to my stats. They ranked 20th through the first 11 weeks, and they struggled mildly to prevent extra yardage, whether it's in the fourth quarter. Washington, as a cohesive unit, we particularly to set up to take that 19-13 lead, we covered a good 58 yards. I thought, particularly when Washington started playing complementary football, that's when I saw Atlanta's defense starting to get tired. So it's something that I think Atlanta has to clean up. But overall, it was a good win for Washington. And also, too, Mr. Ron Rivera wins his 100th NFL game as a head coach. Yes. Congratulations to Coach Ron Rivera. I know that it has been tough these last couple years. I think he has changed the culture. He has kept this team focused amidst all the drama from the people up top. And I credit that to his leadership. He's shown that when he was in Carolina. If I was starting an NFL team, that's what I want as my head coach. And Ron Rivera. There's some other guys too. So give shout outs to him. This team, it just has a good roster. I with all due respect, I still think we need to give Carson Wentz an opportunity. That's just my opinion. I don't think drafting. I'm gonna say that for the mock draft. I'm holding off on that thought. Scratch that from the record. But yeah, congratulations to Ron Rivera. I'm still holding out that Washington will win 9 or 10 games. I think he should be consideration for Coach of the Year because a lot of people have slept on this team. A lot of people just did not give Washington their flowers. I think it's deserving. And congratulations to Washington. Now we got to get ready for Saquon Barkley and the New York Giants. That should be an interesting matchup. And we'll talk about that in a future episode. But for now, let's move into our last topic of the night.
Incoming message.
Thoughts are running through my mind. So I took some time to find a minute or two to organize them.
So, if you've paid attention, there was a statue that was presented in the memory of the late great Sean Taylor, aka Meast, um, arguably one of the best safeties in the game. Life was tragically taken away from him. Um, I they unraveled the statue. Um, I at first didn't know what it was until I understood what it was. So it was a mannequin with with his jersey, um, because if you remember, Reebok and white Nike, um, I believe Nike did not become a part of the NFL until 2012, um, and I kind of thought I really thought it would have been a statue. Um, to me, it looked like something you see at Target or J.C. Penney's mannequin with his jersey there. I really would have liked to see the statue. Um, I thought it was just I had no problem with it. Um, I just really was expecting more than that. If you remember, 15 years ago, Sean Taylor was tragically killed in a home invasion. Um, I know he liked to wear soccer cleats, but if I remember, he liked the taping of his face mask of the helmet. I remember that. Um, I just felt like this was another mistake on Washington's part. Did the same thing last year with his retiring um, his jersey number, and Patrick Mahomes' brother is dancing on it. I had a big issue with that. Um, so I mean, I know his brother Sean Taylor spoke out and spoke up and say that he had no issue with it. Um, and I think it was his half brother. Excuse me. I mean, it was nice to see, but I thought they could have done more. Um, I really hope there's more to this for him. I really wanted to see a statue like Ray Lewis has a statue outside of M&T Bank. I wanted to see something like that. So I'm hoping that this is just the beginning, and hoping that they continue to honor his legacy. Because, in my opinion, had Sean Taylor not been killed, Sean Taylor would have been a first ballot Hall of Famer in my book, without a shadow of a doubt. So, rest in peace, Sean Taylor, one of the best safeties to ever do it in the game. I mean, Troy Polamalu, Ed Reed, Sean Taylor, Darren, Rodney Harrison, um, those guys. Just a lot of what ifs, but it's nice to see that they honored him. But it was underwhelming for me. So, but with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, be tuned in for future episodes. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on the game. How is your team doing this so far in this NFL season? Get ready for the next episode of Maryland football. We have some things to talk about with them. And with that being said, I will catch you guys on the flip side. Thank you for tuning in. Peace.
Thank you for tuning in to Big Nate Sports Talk. If you enjoyed that episode and you want to see more content, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Bring your sports game on Big Nate Sports Talk. It's on all the time, anytime.
Thank you. And you help me retain my sanity. Thank you. I want to thank you. And I want to thank you. All I want to do is say thank you for everything you do.
paramount is your success.